Yo, welcome back to the best show in Atlanta. I'm your host, Nigel. Listen, if you haven't already, please like, comment, and subscribe to the best show in Atlanta. Also, if you can, go on the website at unspokenatlanta.com and get your merch, man. We got different colorways on the hoodies, crew necks, t-shirts, all type of stuff on there, man. So if you can support, man, go to unspokenatlanta.com, check out the Unspoken Atlanta collection, and get your merch today. Enjoy the show.
Hey, Nigel. Did too hard, bruh.
Super honored, man. Shout out Nigel. Shout out everybody here. Shout out Unspoken. We in the A.
Shout out to my boy Jeter. That's what we drinking on, Jeter Readers. So y'all get y'all some Jeter Reader, man. Hit my boy up. For real. All right, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of the Unspoken Atlanta podcast. I'm your host, Nigel Armani. And today, man, you can see where we at already. We're at Cam Kirk Studios. We're interviewing one of the best visionaries, one of the best camera guys, one of the best videographers, photographers, everything you want to do as far as Atlanta when it comes to the hip hop space. I've been knowing this guy for a few years now. We don't seen each other at some a few places randomly, but yeah, man, Cam Kirk, man, how you doing, man? Nice to meet you, bro.
I'm blessed, man. Happy to be here. Happy to have y'all here in my space, man.
Oh, I appreciate it, bro. Yeah, this is a special episode, man. This is actually my second one on the road, one-on-one.
Oh, fire.
I'm happy to be here, bro. I appreciate you for
Made
inviting
me feel
us, man.
special. Y'all pulled up all the cameras, the crew, the squad. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we gotta do it right, man. Gotta do it right, man. So, man, how you doing, man? Temperature check, man. How you doing?
I'm blessed, man. I ain't
Blessed.
got no complaints in the world right now, man. I'm just loving life, loving my business.
Yeah.
Everything's in the right place. Everything is where it need to be. So I'm blessed.
Yeah, but so we at the new studio, on the BeltLine. You've been opening for at least 6 months at this point, a little bit longer.
Yeah, we opened in February. February 5th was around the time we got in here, got into space. I think we did our official grand opening. I think it was February 8th.
Yeah, on my birthday, matter of fact.
Okay, well, yeah,
Hey,
great day,
great
special day. For
Great
sure,
day.
man. We made history over here. So, we were downtown for 7.5 years.
Yeah,
Across from Magic City. Really just, putting in that work and building a brand, building a foundation of this company in downtown Atlanta. And then we had an opportunity that we just couldn't pass up on, which is to honestly go from one of the worst locations in Atlanta to probably the best location in Atlanta, like overnight, man. And to see our business just evolve and to fit right into an area like this is just like, that's why I say I'm blessed, man.
Yeah.
I can't complain about nothing.
Was that a hard decision for you, even though, because that's a historic place and you like right across from Magic City? I mean, I know it's a little bit smaller than what it is now, but how was that, like, making the decision to move? Like, was it easy?
The confidence to move wasn't easy.
Okay.
Like, the confidence to know that you can do it. Like, you can go out there, you can find another spot, another owner or landlord will rock with you. Like, they will embrace your business. That was the hard part because we have a very unique business. You mentioned before, it's hip-hop based, it's music 24/7, it's parties. We do high volume numbers. Since we've been downtown, we do on average about 350, 400 appointments or bookings a month. So it's a high traffic space that's seeing a lot of different bodies, different people. I was more so nervous, if we went to a better neighborhood, would they understand the type of business we have and embrace it?
Yeah.
Right? The fact that you could be in here and your favorite rapper is in here with the whole entourage and the crew. And, sometimes that scares people or could scare landlords if they don't really fully understand what it is you're doing.
Yeah.
So I was more so at the beginning just nervous of what would the reception be if we move, or would, another landlord kind of rock with me, believe in my business, believe in my mission. I think that's what kind of held us back more than anything. The idea of moving was easy.
Yeah.
People always talk about that. Like, how could you leave such a historic place? You cross from Magic City. Well, we're open from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. Magic don't really get rocking till
About midnight, 2 o'clock.
midnight, 2 o'clock. So what benefit do I get from Magic City being there? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not getting rollover traffic. If anything, we're buttering up people to go over there.
Go over there, yeah.
And then it's at the same time, like, Magic is iconic. I like being across from Magic just to see how a brand can stand the test of time through all the scrutiny, through everything. like for 35. I think they just celebrating 40 years. That's incredible to me. But I was more so inspired by that. But in terms of like our businesses being complementary,
Yeah.
like besides me having, their original sign on my wall, that's about as complimentary as the business got. Like it didn't really, we didn't get no real business from being at Magic, and no real benefit besides that. So it was really one of those things where the only thing on that block was Magic and Cam Kirk Studios. So we kind of had to hold down the daytime, and then they held down the night. But we didn't really benefit necessarily off of each other like that.
I feel that. Okay, so you end up moving to the new spot, coming on here on the BeltLine. Like you said, your grand opening I did on February 8th. How's it been since you've been here so far with the transition? Because I know it's a lot of traffic passing you every day.
Man, game changing. It's a game changing move. Like when you're in the midst of your business or whatever it is you're working on, sometimes you can really have tunnel vision, and sometimes it's hard for you to really see what's happening. When we moved here, I didn't realize that our business was literally hitting the ceiling downtown. We did the most you could do underneath those circumstances. And I didn't realize that. And you don't realize that until you go into a new space with quite literally higher ceilings and you realize, wow, my business did have more to grow, but I couldn't grow more in that particular, environment. So, man, our revenue is through the roof right now. We're more profitable now than we were downtown, even though we're paying, 5 times more in rent, still more profitable. So it's it really just showed like, that stubbornness of being, or that fearfulness of being scared to move on could almost suffocate and kill your business. We were literally, there were months we were that close, like where it's like, yo, this shit don't make no sense.
Yeah.
Like no matter what people were seeing from the outside, what we were really dealing with, the real numbers to continue to do as much as we do for the community and offer free this and free that, free events, free workshops, free studio time. Like we couldn't keep doing that at the revenue we were making in that spot. And that spot had capped us out on how much revenue we could make. Yeah. So when we moved here, we started to see old clients come back with another form of excitement. And then they were finally comfortable to be honest with us. Like, I just couldn't go back downtown. Like I just couldn't step over another crack gate. Yeah, I couldn't bring my client there. Yeah. You know what I mean? I just couldn't deal with that location. I love you guys. You guys are the best thing smoking.
But the location scares
The location scared me, scared my clients, made me not feel comfortable bringing new clients. Yeah. So I think that, but you didn't know that when you were in it. Yeah. You're just like, what's going on? Why we can't? And then when you move, you realize like, wow, that was really the issue.
Yeah, for the people who be coming in here and like using your space, like is it something that you kind of added for them as far as the move that you couldn't do on the other side?
Yeah, I mean, bigger space, higher ceilings. For photography, you got more room now to actually play with lighting, to raise your lights higher, to get different angles with what you're doing. We added a cyc wall, which in photography and in videography is like a must-have. So now we have a cyc wall inside the space where, you can get that 360 type of look and, a premium, photography kind of setup that we weren't able to do at the other spot. So between those two things, the higher ceilings, just the more space, we still maintain the same co-working vibe. So it's still like if you're doing a shoot in here, it could be somebody else doing a shoot to the side of you. But now we have a larger lounge in the middle that kind of really separates the world. So it don't feel like you're like right up on top of each other. And just the space, man. It's just a space. But that cyc wall definitely took things up a notch for sure.
So I watched the interview you did with Ariel Leisure. They was getting into at the beginning. They was talking about like the different aspects of the camera, trying to teach people how to do that. Have you ever thought about like doing like classes as far as like teaching?
Oh yeah, we teach every month.
Well, I mean, like as far as like, I know you do your classes because I get your emails and stuff too, though. But I'm talking about like on like 700,000 people just teaching just photography itself.
I don't know, man. I don't know if I have the capacity to do it at such a large scale like that. Like, I think it's I try to be conscious of my bandwidth. You know what I mean? I think at times I was just talking to my girl about that, like what are the phases that I see in my life? Like, what my 30s are representing right now, what my 40s are going to represent, and then what do I want to make my 50s? I think my 50s will be solely dedicated to philanthropy and education. Like the way I see it now, like 50s is going to be the time for me to step back and just tell my story and really spend a lot of time teaching what I've learned, telling my story. We do it now. We do it regularly now. But I think at the scale that you're potentially talking about, or potentially going back to my alma mater and trying to be an adjunct professor at Morehouse, stuff like that, like I could see that in my 50s, right? I think right now, there's still a lot more for me to learn, you know what I mean, along the way. So I don't think I'm ready to teach at that magnitude of scale yet. But education, mentoring, all that is a huge passion of mine. So I think inevitably those days and that time will come where I'm lending my voice to share what I know and the knowledge I have. But I think that's like in my 50s.
Yeah. No, I just came from InvestFest.
Oh, yeah, shout out to those guys.
Shout out to them. But like I see you up there. Like I don't see no difference. Like I mean, it's like I've seen they've had Magic Johnson to anybody talking crypto, anything like that. But I mean, like as far as like camera and stuff like that, it's all working the same area. So I see you up there. That's why I said that.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully, I did, like you said, I did Earn Your Leisure. I did the podcast, and hopefully they see, a vision for me to maybe hit the stage one year. I think it'd be cool. I mean, I've definitely been at CultureCon, Forbes, BLK. Like, we've done those moments for sure where, you're in front of a pretty large audience and you're sharing what you know. I mean, I'm passionate about that. I think that it's so funny when I think about speaking publicly, because if anybody that knows me, the personal side of me, I have strong social anxiety. Like if you see me at a party, we've probably had a pretty awkward, interaction because I don't speak a lot. I'm very quiet. But when I get on stages or I get in front of mic, I feel like God just usually speaks through me in a way that it's like a feeling I can't really describe. Like words just kind of come to me. And I've had that experience on stage. So I do think that's part of my calling is to, take what I learned and eventually, deliver it to the masses in whatever formats that is. But yeah, I would love for something like that, in due time when it's time.
Yeah. So I know your family's from DC, right?
From Maryland, PG County.
Yeah. Well, originally go back a little bit. What made you originally move to Atlanta?
Morehouse. I moved here for college.
Okay.
So like I had a couple colleges I was thinking about. One was University of Maryland, one was University of Miami, and then one was Morehouse. And Morehouse was a late addition. Originally it was Maryland or Miami. I grew up on sports. I just wanted to go somewhere where sports was very relevant. And that was what I thought college was, education and sports, arenas, games. So that was originally what I wanted to do, because originally I was going to college for sports medicine. So I thought I wanted to do was pre-med. Morehouse is a late addition because I didn't get into University of Miami, which was crazy. I was a 3.5 student, good SAT scores. I didn't get in. Honestly, I didn't get in because I didn't put on the application that I was black. Crazy how DEI.
You did it on purpose?
DEI is so relevant now. Yeah. I'm thinking the opposite. I'm thinking I'm too smart. I'm like, I'm not going to tell them I'm black and they're going to watch they let me in. I'm thinking I'm too smart because my name is Cameron Kirkland. I'm like, they ain't going to know all for this application. I'm thinking I'm too smart, and I actually did not get in. And I guarantee you, if I would have probably said I was black trying to go to University of Miami with my accolades, I probably would have got a scholarship.
Probably got in,
But I didn't, and I didn't get into Miami. And that kind of shook me a little bit. And then I was going to go to University of Maryland. And then a friend of mine, I was working at DTLR. He was a year older than me. He went off to Morehouse, and he came back for Christmas break. And he was like, "Bro, with your personality and what you went to, I think you should really look into Morehouse. I think it'd be a great place for you." And I went to visit Morehouse, and I went to visit Maryland. And when I first stepped on campus at Morehouse, I just felt at home immediately. Home. This is where I'm supposed to be at. When I went to Maryland, I just felt empty. I just felt like nothing. Like campus was too big. I would have got lost there. I would have got lost there. I wouldn't have found myself there. And thankfully, I made the right choice, and I went to Morehouse.
Yeah, I also see you. You said you met Metro at Morehouse as well. How was that? Meeting somebody and then actually seeing where he become.
Yeah, when I met Metro, I had already graduated. So Metro's 4 years younger than me.
So you just going back and just.
So I was going back to visit. So ironically, so when I got out of college, 2012, I was moving around the industry trying to find myself, but I ended up getting placed with Young Scooter. So Young Scooter is the artist that changed my life. He actually gave me a real opportunity. And I was running around with Scooter, who led me around Gucci, led me around Young Thug, Young Dolph, like pretty much a lot of that, industry that was with 1017. I was with him for a while, and then obviously Metro, when he came down here, he was already kind of signed to free bands with Future. So we were kind of close past because Scooter is free bands as well as 1017. So we were kind of close past, but we never actually connected. So I was working with Scooter, and then out of nowhere, Scooter and Gucci get locked up, and my entire whatever I was working on just stopped.
Yeah, the pivot.
It stopped instantly. So I was building a name with him, and then it just stopped. So then I came back, and one of the places I came back to, just like my roots, was just went back to campus. I was going to go pull up on Be Right, Dez, my boys who were at Morehouse, and they were mentoring Metro, or Metro was like young freshman on campus, and he was in their suite.
In their room, yeah.
And I went back to visit them, and then they were like, "Oh, both of y'all free bands, y'all should know each other." And literally from there, me and Metro were inseparable for at least another 3-4 years, like with Metro every single day. And we formed a bond and a brotherhood and just a partnership of just like, you make the beats, I shoot the video, I create the content. You make the beats, I create the content. And then that's how we kind of took the industry by storm. So a lot of my early work that I was doing around that window, where I was really documenting everybody from Migos to Thug to da-da-da, I'm in the room because of Metro. And then a lot of the visibility, people saw Metro, his image, his brand, the headbands, all this superstar that he is.
St. Louis vibe.
Yeah, that was documented by me.
Yeah.
So now we're putting him inside of music videos and stuff like that. So it was like that partnership that really changed both of our lives, and then led both of us to do some amazing things.
Yeah, so was Cam Kirk Studios built there? Or was it?
Nah, Cam Kirk Studios didn't start till 2017.
Well, when you my question was, I was gonna ask, like, what was it that made you feel like to go from doing that to, all right, let me own my own studio?
Man, you know how people talk about how dark the music industry is?
Yeah.
I think a lot of it was built around just disappointments in the music industry time and time again. And just me being like pushed to like control my own destiny. You know what I mean? And not be not have my life dictated by what someone else is doing or what value someone else holds over me. That's like my mental state at that time, right? Because I had a couple situations that didn't go the way I wanted them to go. And every time, like whether even a situation with Scooter and me having to pivot, or a situation with this having to pivot, I always found myself coming back to Atlanta and having to figure it out. And I wanted to build something that was mine, that I can control, that I could own, that I could, that's why you'll find me here at the studio all the time. I'm here. This is my baby. So I started to more invest in who Cam Kirk is and what story and what message I have and what legacy I want to leave in the city. The same way I saw Metro do it as a producer, same way I saw Scooter do it as a rapper, or people I've been around. Like, I saw them take their craft and then build a world around it and make the world know who they were. I just applied that similar formula to
the blueprint
to this. And I was like, well, if they can do it and I can do it, why can't I do it too? And I'm gonna build my thing. You know what I mean? And I might not be selling records. I'm selling what I know and what I do. And taking my craft and finding ways to multiply it across the world. And that's what we did with Cam Kirk Studios. So that energy really just came from, truthfully, just being slighted too many times in the music industry and me not really seeing like a world where that would have made me the money or the impact or whatever that I was looking for. Yeah. And I was destined for just more than that.
Was it easy, like getting people to come over to the studio originally? I mean, obviously you probably used artists as a way to pull everybody else, but
I ain't use no artists. That was my whole thing. I ain't want to use no artists. I didn't want to ask for no favors. Like, I didn't want nobody to say that they helped build this or they put this on the map. Like, I use no resources. I use no resources. Like, I think even the day that we did grand opening, I didn't invite nobody. I ain't invite no Metro, none of my friends. I didn't invite nobody. Like, it was like, I'm building this on my own. It was very difficult. It was very difficult. It was a wake-up call at the beginning. When we first started, I learned a lot just about communication, marketing, and how important it is to communicate, especially in this day and era still, and especially in that era where it was, social media, and you could tell somebody something on social. You could make a post and you just would assume that they get it. Then you realize you might have to make that post 3, 4, 5 times for them to actually understand what it is you're doing. Then you might have to tell it a different way, on a different platform. You might have to show it a different way. Importance of PR and importance of all these different things, the importance of influence. Like you learn the importance of so many things when you try to launch a business. The first 6 months when I tried to launch Cam Kirk Studios, we didn't get a single client. We had like one client. Like literally nobody booked the spot. But I would go outside and people would be like, "Congratulations, bro. Heard you got a studio." Everybody thought it was my private studio. Like a place that I just could call home.
Yeah. They know it was for the public. People could come.
They didn't even realize it was for the public.
Okay.
Although I'm promoting it, like,
yeah.
you know, whatever per hour, book now. It just
Went over everybody's head.
went over their head. Went over their head for years, like for a while. Like it took a while for us to really break through and get people to understand. And that's when we started adopting, like, community became a major part of the brand. At the beginning, it really was a more of a vain move. It was like, I'm Cam Kirk. I'm the most popular photographer. I got a studio. Y'all should. That was my energy.
Yeah.
They're gonna shoot here because everybody in my DMs asking me advice and da. When I open the studio, everybody gonna come in. All the photographers are gonna rock with me. And that's not how it works. Like you have to have genuine community built into what it is you're doing. You gotta have a purpose. You gotta wanna solve a problem. It can't be that. So then that's when we started adopting more of a community model with the studio. And then we just had to practice it, live it, and it became what we do. So that's how the workshops are being built. That's how we do free studio time. That's why when you book at the studio, all the lighting equipment comes with it. That's why when you book here, you get an assistant that literally helps you the whole time you're on set. So like all of those things came together to form the formula that we have as a studio. But at the beginning, it was not easy at all.
Let's stay on. I want to talk about build a community though. Can you talk about your ways or things that you had to come up with as far as whether it's events or just marketing ways to kind of like help build your community?
Yeah, I think building community starts with being able to, one, you got to start with identifying your community. Like, who is your community, right? You got to be able to damn near draw them on a piece of paper. Be able to answer, like, where do they shop? Where do they go? Where do they eat? What's their income level? What's their age? What music do they listen to? You got to really be able to, like, literally identify your customer, your community. Then after that point, your first question got to be, what's their pain point? What bothers them? What's their barriers? What are the things that keep them from being able to be their best self? And then once you can identify some of those things, then you would think about how can I apply those things, or how can my business solve those issues? So for us, it was simple. Like, a lot of people were starving artists. A lot of people, once starving artists, couldn't afford studio time, couldn't afford it, weren't getting paid enough from photo shoots to be able to do that. So if you're coming out the gates charging same prices as a most professional studio, you're not really attacking your audience. So that's when we started free studio time. Like, literally free studio time. You come shoot at Cam Kirk Studios for absolutely free. That's how we started the business. And then you go into, like, okay, what's their skill level when they come in here? Do they know what they're doing? Do they come in here and know, like, 90-degree angle, this over here, that over there? No.
Like contrast.
Half of them is their first time in the studio, ever have an opportunity to be in the studio. They don't know that. So now you got to add the cushions in there that make this user-friendly for them. So bring the equipment, have it already there for them. Now they don't have to stress over that. They can't afford to have an assistant, provide an assistant for them. Like, most of us can't afford to go on a set and split the money down and hire the crew, not at the beginning. So now we add that in there for them. So then we just started adding all of the things that solve the problem. And then we made coming into a studio and doing a photo shoot not such a stressful concept. We simplified it for them. And then that was us understanding our community and then providing the solution through our business for the community.
Is that where the idea to start doing your workshops and stuff came from?
Yep. Education. We knew off the rip, if we teach you, if we're your sensei or your teacher, one, you're going to be forever indebted with us. We'll have a place in your heart forever. Because as you go practicing what you learn, you're going to always remember who taught you that. You're going to, one, spread the word. And I learned this from Cam Kirk and them over there. They taught me how to. It's going to be a part of your story. Which then, in turn, if we teach you using our equipment and based on our system and the way we work, the best way to get the most out of that is going to be to continue to do that at the place that you learned it.
Yeah.
Right? So if we can have those two things together, I create like an environment that you're comfortable in because you've been learning here already. So now when you come back with the real deal, it's like shooting in the same gym you've been practicing all day. The game. You know what I mean? Like having that shoot around on the actual rim that I'm going to actually play this game in, you're usually going to play better. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like that. And that's where education became an important part of the brand of Cam Kirk Studios.
When was the time when you got comfortable enough to be able to start doing corporate gigs versus where you started like music videos and photo shoots, stuff like that?
It was more so when the corporate got comfortable
With you?
with me.
Yeah.
Like, because it's the same approach.
Yeah.
You know, when I show up on set, it's the same way. I show up with NBA Youngboy the same way I show up with Nike. So it really came down to when they got comfortable to see my vision and to want to do things the way that I would do it and to come into our world. Not even just me, when they wanted to come into hip hop.
Yeah.
That's when it happened. My first major corporate shoot was probably, I think it was Nike. I did a few before that. I can't remember if that was my first. That probably wasn't my first. One of my big Nike. And when I did a Nike Air Force One campaign, I did a campaign with Biggs from Rockefeller, and I did a campaign with Don C. They both were releasing their collab Air Force Ones. That campaign was built around my style of photography. They literally went through my old portfolio and built the creative campaign for this based around my style and the way that I was just documenting artists and their natural elements. So it was honestly, that's when corporate and these brands started to actually pay attention to what's happening in more of the underground world.
Mm-hmm.
And then instead of trying to take someone that's naturally doing this type of photography and make them go do something left field, they kind of morphed their creative around what we did best and just what hip hop was best about. So that was a Nike campaign that I literally shot half that campaign on disposable cameras. Like straight film. Like it threw me off because I was like, I'm expecting Nike, or y'all must want me to bring out the big guns or rent some cameras.
AK cameras and all
They
that.
was like, nah, take this CBS
See what you can do
camera and just be you and do it up with that. I'm like, you serious? They're like, yeah. 35 millimeter film, no medium format, 35 millimeter. Okay, use your regular digital here and there, but shoot a lot with that. Like, you know, and I'm like, wow. Like that was just, they just really wanted my eye and my perspective and how I would document these icons in their city. And that was one of my favorite campaigns and shoots ever, you know what I mean? But it was truly that. And then, you know, when I work with brands, they know who they working with. They want what I do naturally. They look at the, you know, when they send me the mood boards for the campaign, they send me shots that I've taken of my rapper friends. They're not the corporate shots that I've done. They send me those and be like, yeah, we want that world. We want that energy, you know, XYZ. So when they got comfortable with hip hop is when they got comfortable with me. And we've been taking over since then.
How is it important to use a platform like hip hop? Obviously, that's what you was able to use. But for somebody else who's just like trying to, you know, get their way through, whether it's photography or even like trying to be a director as far as music videos, like if you could give them some advice on like ways that they could kind of, I guess, stand out in a way.
Like anything, if you're trying to be an entrepreneur, because that's really what it is. You want to be a director, or you want to be a certain type of creative, certain practices. If you just strip it down to a broad sense, you know, you're just an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
When you're an entrepreneur, you got to learn how to do all facets of business building, right? So there are times you have to put your accountant hat on. There are times you put your business management hat on, and there are definitely times you got to put your marketing. I think too many creatives forget the idea that they are a business, they are a brand, and the way they need to market themselves. They think it's just about the portfolio of the work. That's dead. That's been dead. We done seen so many amazing photos. People are honestly not even that impressed by amazing imagery. You know what I mean? That's why every so often you see people preferring an iPhone picture over the high quality camera, or you see even rappers are shooting videos with VHS cams. Like it's almost like we done seen so much high quality that now we want to see more personality or something more tangible. So when you're in a world like that, it ain't about the quality of what you're doing. It's about how can you take what you're doing and like you said, make it stand out. But it's gonna be about marketing. You know what I mean? And in this day and age, how do you cut through the noise? Like how can you do something unexpected? Right? How can you create a clash? That's what going viral is. It's like something of good enough quality that just cuts through it. Like it's unexpected almost. Like it shifts you. So, and then whatever you're doing, whether you're being a photographer, director, clothing brand owner, whatever business, now you got to start thinking about how you can truly stand out. And my favorite way to stand out in this day and age is just propaganda. I call it propaganda.
Yeah. What
propaganda can you create? Like how can you take the natural service or output that you create, natural product you create, and then add a sprinkle of like what the fuck on it? Like, how the hell? Like, you know, how can you do that? So, like, even if, like, you know, take Atlanta, for instance. Just yesterday, the brand from London, Cortez, I think it's how you pronounce it, came to Atlanta and did a pop-up shop. Could have easily took over Wish. Could have easily took over Alma Ear. Would have been cool. Did this pop-up shop at Magic City on Sunday from London.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Yeah.
Like, what went into your mind?
Yeah.
He could have sold them same clothes, had the same line wrapped around the block. People would have came wherever address he put. He did it at Magic City for the propaganda. Come to Atlanta and it creates a WTF moment.
Yeah.
Like, what? Who has ever done that? And I feel like that is the world we're in right now. You know what I mean? And you have to find ways to do that with your business. So when it came to like my photography work, the exhibit that put me on the super map was my Trap God exhibit. 10-year anniversary of that right now. I could have took those pictures of Gucci, printed them, and put it on any white wall in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And people would have still came out and still would have been like, "It's dope. Shot Gucci. I never seen these photos. It's dope." I did it in a trap house in East Atlanta, in Zone 6, off Edgewood, in the middle of like the real trap.
Yeah, let them know.
That changes the whole dynamic, you know, of what you're doing. It creates that WTF. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing that since 2015. You know what I mean? That one event alone is the reason why we have trap music.
Yeah.
It's the birth of that whole
era.
Like era of like clashing ideas and taking something trap and merging it into a different type of world. So that's propaganda.
Yeah.
That's a photographer propaganda. That whole event went viral. They were talking about it on a Breakfast Club. Every article you could think of covered that event before it happened. It went viral. You know what I mean? And that was even before how things are going viral now. It went viral in every way you can think of. So I followed that up when I needed to make more noise, because prior to that, I was the guy that the rappers called to come to the studio. Like late night, pull up on me, I'm over here, I'm there. I wasn't the guy that they called for photo shoots. They still weren't calling me for, like, I got an album cover, I'm gonna get fly, get a stylist, shoot. I still had never done a major photo shoot. I was shooting vlogs, documentary style shoots in studio, capturing this, capturing that. All my music videos, you watch any of my early music videos, ain't none of them nothing more than a day in a life. I'm just with them, and then we just put a camera on.
Yeah.
It's not
follow them around.
It's not a set. I wasn't really on sets like then. I knew I wanted to break through. I knew I wanted to change. The next thing I did after Trap Guy exhibit, I did an exhibit called Day 4 exhibit, where I took my work, and again, instead of just putting it on Instagram or putting it online, I printed them and unveiled them on billboards in Atlanta for the first time. The first time you ever saw this picture was on a billboard riding down your city. It completely, again, create propaganda.
Yeah.
How was this photography? Like, this wasn't a billboard promoting Nike, Adidas, Puma, no brands. It was just the rapper on a billboard with my name on it. How was he doing this? Who is he, and how did he get these people? From there, that changed my entire perception. How people looked at me as a photographer. I became the photographer for the big shit.
For the big shit.
I literally lost jobs because people stopped calling me for the docu stuff.
Yeah,
It was like, you too big to be my day-to-day cameraman.
Yeah.
You call Cam for that. Like, we call you when it's like it kind of completely changed the dynamic in a beautiful way. And all that led to obviously work we do now, brands calling and reaching out. But the brands had to see it on that scale, and the artists had to see it on that scale.
Yeah.
And that's how you stand out. So when you continue to think about this day and age, and if you're whatever you are, whatever type of creative you are, what's some propaganda you can sprinkle on what you did? It don't got to be nothing crazy, but you could continue to take a picture that you think is dope, and your first time you want to share it with the world can be on Instagram, and you're going to be in the algorithm like everybody else.
Yeah.
Or you can
what the fuck?
Get clever and do some what the fuck with it. Like just think of the wildest thing you can do with it. Project it on the side of a building. It don't cost that much to get a projector.
Yeah.
Magic City on Sundays closed. It ain't nothing to get a projector. Aim that bitch on the side of Magic City. If you just a thought, document it on your phone, but that's all you're gonna end up doing anyway. Yo, new photo right now, playing on the side of Magic. Go there right now to see it. And you're gonna create the propaganda. It don't matter if 10 people come, 5 people come, 0 people come.
Yeah,
propaganda.
Yeah.
It's gonna get people talking.
Yeah.
Oh, imagine if you consistently do stuff like that. Oh, the next one's on the side of what's another popping spot we go to? You know, on this building, on this building.
Yeah.
It's just creating propaganda. You know what I mean? That's what the brands are doing. Everybody's doing, and you can do that too. You just have to be creative enough to figure out what your audience would gravitate to.
How do you balance the business versus creativity?
And it's hard to balance. It's hard to balance anything, but balancing business and creativity. Luckily for me, they kind of go one and together. Like when I'm doing a photo shoot for you or for an artist, I am your marketing manager at that time. Like, so I'm doing a business service. I'm doing the business of marketing for you at that time. So for me, luckily my two passions marry and they are a business production, you know? But so for me it works. But yeah, when there are times like right now, you see me, I'm looking rough. I'm in the office. I'm in business mode. You know what I mean? We upstairs in the office late and we handling the administrative side of the business right now. And then there are times where I'm more, you know, in front of the world, you know, and doing more creative things. Even my appearance is a little different, and I present myself a little differently depending on what I'm doing. But luckily it's a natural balance here because my work is creative.
Yeah, so I was gonna ask you. I know Scooter is the one. Well, Scooter, my fault, Scooter, but he's the one that got you off the ground. I was gonna ask you, what is one of your memorable like photo shoots you got? That's probably one of your favorites, or probably meant the most to you through your career that kind of stand out.
With him or with anybody?
Was it anybody?
That's a good one. It's a couple of moments that really made me be like, wow, this is dope. I'll give you a few. I did a shoot with Young Thug for Giuseppe. That was crazy. Just because of where we started, like both of us.
Yeah.
And the trenches of where we started, Thug used to come on the road with us with Scooter as just an entourage member. You know what I mean? And he would ride in the back of the truck with me. You know what I mean? That's what it was like. And so he would be on the road with us. So then to be able to, you know, let's say I did that probably about 5 years later. To be able for him to be at the height of his career at the time, this is prior to him obviously getting arrested. And then for me to be at the height of where I was, and then to do something for a high fashion brand like
on that
Giuseppe.
level. Yeah.
Giuseppe came and saw both of us and put us back together again after all those years. That was incredible. Some of my favorite photos, and we did that shoot in 30 minutes. It was just the energy was there. Came on set like, bro, hurry up. I'm trying to go gamble. Like, you know, but we had that, like, all right, I laughed, all right.
Yeah, let's do it.
Change clothes, change again. Get them out of here. You know what I mean? It's like we did 4 or 5 looks, no lie, in 30 minutes. Like, it was that seamless.
Yeah.
And that's just a testament of, you know, both of our chemistry and just like work that we do. You know what I'm saying? So then you see it, you go to Phipps Plaza and it's in the store.
In the store,
like,
yeah.
Photo is in the store. It's crazy. You know what I mean? That's just like, wow, like $1,000 shoe, selling $1,000 shoes for, you know, European high fashion brands. Crazy. Next shoot that was crazy was I got to go to Jamaica to shoot PopCon. And it's like when he's really taking over on a global level. Red Bull flew me to Jamaica and allowed me to really do what I've been doing with a lot of the American artists, just like fly on the wall, spend a day with them and just document everything you get. And to be able to do that in Jamaica with such like a boss of his, you know, country, and just to see how they treat him like the president and the way he was moving around, and to really be immersed in this. Like, I had a true Jamaican experience.
Yeah.
Like, we were doing no tourist behavior. It was like I'm with him as he's 20 deep, riding on his motorcycle, flying through Jamaica, going to a little private area in an island where him and his boys hang out at. Like, you know, no shoes on, walking barefoot through, you know, the water and all that stuff, eating the food straight. They catching and eating the food. Like, it was a true experience. And PopCon had a drop top Range Rover, which I'd never seen before, but it was a convertible Range Rover. And in Jamaica, they drive on the other side of the road, but his Range Rover was American. So I like literally, they had me ride in the front seat of his Range Rover when he was on a motorcycle. So as we're riding through the city, there's one of a kind car already, no matter where you'll be at. It's definitely one of a kind in Jamaica. I sat in the seat where people thought that was popcorn. So as I'm riding through neighborhoods, you see fans running out of their house, screaming and yelling. And they're assuming I'm him because I'm in the seat that he probably usually sits
driving
in. And he's in a motorcycle with his helmet on. Like, so they don't even know where he's at. But that was like a crazy experience. And anytime you get to travel internationally for your work, that's just like, that's a WTF moment, to be honest. And then the last one, so many that are memorable, real. So I won't even say the last one, but just, for the sake of time, I got to shoot. I probably would say like I shot 2 Chainz on the roof of the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. That was pretty crazy, just because of the what we had to go through to get to the roof. Like, to stand on the roof of the Mercedes-Benz Stadium is already something that one of probably 100 people can even say they've ever even done. They've even been up there. They ever even knew you can go up there. And then to be able to work with 2 Chainz up there for Atlanta United, the soccer team, that was pretty crazy. That was just a dope experience. And it was just like a regular day in Atlanta too. It wasn't like something I had a crew for or flew anywhere. Like, I just went, they let me up there, they got to work with them. That was like a really, really dope experience. So that I'll probably put that on the bucket list, just because I know a lot of people can't say that they've been on top of the Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
What time we at? Okay, I just want to make sure we're on time. Okay, well, see, what if I say you've been in Atlanta for a while. I'm gonna ask you, everything's changing around here. All the scenery, all the spots we used to go to, can't go there no more. I just seen that they finna close down Cheetah. They put a high rise.
Crazy.
That's crazy. What's your thoughts on just the overall gentrification of Atlanta? How things is changing?
I'm gonna give you an honest answer, bro. I blame my generation. I blame all these superstars that came out of Atlanta the last 10, 12 years that I witnessed, that I worked with, that we helped grow this thing and put Atlanta on the super map. And I watched 99% of them invest their money in chains and whips and no property out here. No real infrastructure that we could have bought up to ensure that our spot remained. Ain't nobody talking about buying Cam Kirk Studios. You're not seeing my spot leave. It's a flag planted here. You know what I mean? And I feel like all this culture is leaving the city and being bought out or being gentrified because we didn't claim stake to it. We made all this money in the city, all this influence, brought all this attention here, and reap no benefits of all the tourist travel coming here. The World Cup is coming here next year off the backs of the hip hop community and what we built here. And how many of us have a business that will benefit from this influx of people? Think about the rappers I'm talking about, or the musicians, or just people in general of this last 10, 12 years. Yeah, I did it right. Trap Museum is going to boom. World Cup time.
Man, what?
Crazy.
They're gonna make crazy money.
They make crazy bank. You know how many tourists going to want to come and see about that? They about to kill. Killer Mike, you see what he's doing. 2 Chainz is going to kill. He's already ready. But where can you go? You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, that's such a spot. I'm about to go there, or I'm about to go do this or do that. It don't exist. You know what I'm saying? They didn't invest in it. They didn't think about that. So then you even think about how we lost our footing a little bit on just being the lead in music. We lost our footing on being the lead in music because when our generation kicked down the door, it was one thing when Andre was knocking on the door, banging on the door, telling them South got something to say. Another thing when the Migos and all of those folks came in and the door was knocked down. We ran all in and through there, but we built none of those artists. And I love these guys. No disrespect. None of those artists have a pipeline. They didn't create the pipeline to ensure that shit keep happening. Like, what did they create? If I'm an upcoming rapper right now coming in the city of Atlanta, where do I go that they laid a foundation for me to just follow through and just do? I'm in the industry, do. It don't exist. What studio can I go to and be like, oh, that's the spot that
That's about
such
everybody be going
such
to. Yeah.
built for us, and it has all of the resources I need now and the cheat codes to learn the industry.
It's only one famous like studio that I know everybody, like So Def Studio, that I feel like everybody like
So
knows.
Def
It's
not a
been around
public
for a
studio.
while.
Patchwork would be the other one, but Patchwork,
Yeah.
they were already built here. These
Yeah.
are resources we had, coming up. We recorded there. But just like there's a Cam Kirk Studios, if you're a young photographer
You can come
in the
in.
city of Atlanta, there's a spot that you can go to become a better photographer and to in a pipeline for you to go from here to the moon.
Yeah.
It was created. I didn't have this when I came up. I created it. I just feel like now we're losing everything because we didn't create
Didn't create nothing.
the thing that would keep them here. And I think that that's just something that, I think our gen will wake up later, or maybe it's too late. You know what I mean? And you'll realize, like, man, I could have created something that.
While you talking, I'm really kind of thinking about like who is prevalent enough to really have that type of wave to be able to pull that off though. Who's been in here
Prevalent. Was I more prevalent than them?
No. You wasn't. You just started. You right. You
I'm not
100%
more
right.
prevalent than them.
But I'm thinking about
I
when it
have
comes to
more
like
resources than them.
yeah, I'm thinking about like what T.I. doing right now is an example of that. Like he has a trap museum. He's building something that
Yeah.
people can always come to. They always
Yeah.
got something. 2 Chainz did the pink trap house.
Yeah.
Like, I'm thinking about other artists, what other artists have done to kind of like, because I feel like when it comes to Atlanta, for years we've been the state of collaboration.
Yeah.
I feel like since Dub been locked up, was locked up, we've kind of like fell off a little bit when it comes to that. And not necessarily his situation, but I'm just talking about all of Atlanta. We can really go into music. Speaking of that,
But what I'm trying to say is like it don't cost them no more than the money they're spending
to
on
do
whatever
that, to start something.
to make a studio that's open to the public.
Yeah,
Let's just start there.
yeah.
You ain't got to record there if for safety reasons you don't want to record there.
Just for the
You don't wanna-
community.
whatever. But this studio right here, and it could still be a running business.
Yeah,
I'm not Gandhi. I make money off the studio. I'm not just doing it for nothing. It's a running business. But imagine there's a studio and you say, I'm going to Migos Studio because they got the best studio equipment, the best studio hours, you know what I mean, or whatever. Like, I can go here and every now and then Quavo's in there and I might run into him and there's a pipeline for him to hear my music or his A&Rs are there, you know what I mean? And it's like, okay, bet, I can see that. Let's just even go to labels. How many of them have their own label and are breaking the next artist?
maybe 2. Yeah.
So then they wonder why Atlanta maybe hasn't had a superstar rapper or artist in time. Where's the pipeline for them? It's like we got to keep striking gold to make it happen.
I think Gucci was the only pipeline for that.
Huh?
I said, I feel like Gucci was the only pipeline that was willing to like.
He was a big one. Yeah. You had Gucci. P and Coach obviously created a pipeline.
Yeah.
They're not necessarily rappers, but
Yeah, I get
they
what
took their thing. They created a pipeline. And then, there's few. I'm not going to just write everybody off. That's why I won't say nobody is doing this. But it's like, I felt like there wasn't a lot of emphasis on that. So as a result, yeah, it's easy for them to come in and take a city that's unclaimed. Like, we're claiming it for the wrong reasons. Like, yeah, it's easy for somebody to come in here and say, cheetah, man, get rid of that.
Yeah.
The high rise here, man. That's where the money's at. Versus like it being another staple that we're going to lose when we don't want to be doing some BS or whatever. You always could go to Cheetah and have a great night out.
Yeah.
Now where you gonna go?
Know where you gonna go? Yeah.
Where you gonna go? It's getting crazier, So I hold a lot of my generation to the fire because I feel like that was our responsibility to grab that torch and build something. It didn't have to be nothing major. Like, I know you were thinking like magnet, that'd be nothing major, something small that somebody can say that they went to.
Yeah. What's your so I guess what's next for Cam Kirk? Like, what's your goals? Since you've been moving over here, I know you've been doing like a lot more corporate stuff, and with this area, you could do a lot more with it. But what's your goals coming up?
Man, my big goals is staying focused on the main thing, keeping the main thing, and I'm a very ambitious person, so it's very easy for me to have ambitions that lead me astray in a certain sense, or to thinking that I could do something else. And what if it's very easy for me to do that? So a big thing I'm challenging myself on is just maintain what you got. It's cool. Like slow progress and building that. But this move did show me that our studio can be bottled up, our energy and what we bring, and can be placed into different areas. So for us going downtown to come in here and still having that same culture when you hit the door, still having that same energy, lets me know that why can't I take this to
Mm.
why can't I take this to Charlotte or DC or whatever? So as always was in the pipeline for that to happen. But I think this move was the move and the confidence. It gave me the confidence to really know that that's next. So I think that what's next for me real soon is going to be just like global expansion of the brand, spreading our wings. But at the same time, just I posted this on my Instagram the other day. It's like scaling vertically, not horizontally. So what I truly mean by that is just keep building on top of the thing that you already created. So you got one Cam Kirk Studios, make another one, make another one, make another one. Versus you got Cam Kirk Studios, now you're trying to make Cam Kirk this, other, clothing brand. It is because you think you built one, and the next thing you know, you done put all the same energy that it would have took you to build up. You still on the same playing field because you just building laterally. You know what I mean? You're just getting wider instead of actually going to the top. And a lot of us make that mistake because once you get somewhere, you get exposed to other opportunities, you get exposed to other passions. So it's very easy for you to fall in love with a new passion and think that that's what you're meant to do. And then that's another thing that I try to tell people is like, just because you're passionate about something don't mean you got to make it a business. Just be passionate. Just love it.
Yeah.
You don't got to make it a business every time you find something you love. So I think that just those things I'm applying to my life right now. So what's next for me is probably not going to be a whole lot of new inventions like I've probably been doing over the last few years of just reinventing myself. It's going to be more like giving y'all the same thing
Consistently, more consistently.
Mhm.
Is it anybody that artist-wise that you haven't worked with that you still looking forward to try to link with at some point?
Hell yeah. I mean, I would love to have the run I had the first 10 years of my run. I would love to do it again, like with those same artists.
Okay.
Like, because we worked together during the come up phase. I would love to I wouldn't say close the chapter, but I would love to revisit the chapter now that we're both more powerful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now that we both have power, I think the work that we would do together would be even crazier. Like when I linked back with Thug and we did something for Giuseppe. But it doesn't have to be for Giuseppe. Like we didn't have to give that sauce to somebody else. We could have gave it to his brand Spider. We could have gave it to like whatever I'm building. Like we can actually keep it because we own it and we can own it. So I would love to just on the simplest form go back and work with more consistently with those guys that I kind of built with and see what that world would look like now. And then outside of just my circle, I really want to work with like there's a few athletes or just people in general I want to work with. Like I want to work with Anthony Edwards. I want to do something with Trae Young. I'm converting to be a Falcons fan. So I would like to work with more Falcons players.
Yeah, Penix.
It's gonna be hard. Even Kyle Pitts, my boy, I still wouldn't mind doing something with Kyle. I'm a Ravens fan too, though, so I wouldn't mind working with like Lamar Jackson, like just kind of some things in sports. On top of the music side, and then like those are like I would probably say some of the more dream jobs. Like those come across the pipeline. It's like, oh, I would love to shoot that.
Yeah, you ever thought about getting into like television film?
Oh man, I've thought about it. There's a few stories I would want to tell. There's a few stories I think I could tell very well. If I did film or television, I would want it to be more like based on reality, kind of like how like The Shy is, or Power would be a little unrealistic, but something along
It gives you, like
something that gives you just more real life. I ain't trying to do no sci-fi or introspective, overly thinking type stuff. But like I do think there should have been a TV show around Southern rap artists, kind of like how Hustle and Flow was, but in Atlanta version. I think that's a story I could tell.
I thought that was originally, ain't gonna lie, I thought that was Atlanta FX. I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah. And it does have, now that you mention it, it does have notes of it, but obviously, they went left, which is cool. Like, it started going left, but something just more like just lives in reality of what that journey is and what that struggle is and how it is moving in Atlanta, because it's very unique to Atlanta. I think like a story like that I could tell and I would be down to tell. But film, TV, it just, you gotta have a lot of patience for stuff like that. I like to go on set one day, project done, in and out. You know, when you get into that world,
Yeah, it's 12 hours minimum.
12-hour days,
Yeah.
multiple days, weeks of filming,
Six
edits,
days, 7
editors in
days.
8 months of edits.
Yeah.
Like
That's a
shit might
lot.
not come out for 2 years later than
Uh-huh.
you actually shot it. If it come out,
If
it
it
gotta
come
get
out, yeah.
passed through the film festival stages. And
Yeah.
by that time, you done forgot about, like, you know,
Yeah.
like, I just like to stay in the moment. So I think I could see myself like investing in other filmmakers one day or producing and things of that nature. But in terms of like physically being like 2 feet into that world, I don't know if that's for me.
Yeah.
But I always keep my, you know, opportunities open if something crosses my path.
Okay, man. No, but we can end it right here, man. Look, I appreciate you, bro. I've been trying to get at you for a while, man. But I appreciate you for letting us pull up today, man.
Yeah, for sure.
We definitely gonna get some more content in. Probably trying to hit you up about doing some stuff here with some other people, some artists maybe.
All right.
We'll see that later down the line. But again, man, make sure y'all please follow Cam Kirk. Make sure y'all come to the studio on the BeltLine. I think on your socials is all Cam Kirk. Cam Kirk
Cam
Studios.
Kirk, me, Cam Kirk Studios for the studio. Yep.
Yeah, man. Make sure y'all check them out, man. Great space. You pretty much do anything from photography to videography to shoot a podcast if you want to, man. So make sure you check that out. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. We appreciate y'all, man. Welcome to the best show in Atlanta. We out.
Took a deep breath, let it exhale. Drizzy always down to do it big like a XL. Birds, they gon' chirp like a Nextel. Only fucked on her just cause sex sells. Forensics on the scene to collect shells. Niggas been walking around us on them eggshells. 12 years in this bitch, here's the next 12. Niggas sick of me, but ain't get well. Slept in my daddy room, cigarette smell. Dreamt of the money cause I knew that we would mesh well. Curse a little thotty with a head spell. Send her back emojis, I don't text well. Selling